the subject is beyond Educide. Educide is as if genocide of just eliminating the people. Educide, it means eliminating education, I mean on large scale, the struggle for higher education in Iraq. So.
Okay, thank you for being here. I think I'm speaking for a convinced audience, so I don't want to give too many figures, but go directly straight to the essence. The destruction of Iraq was deliberate, and it overwhelms all. You see it in the number of people killed, 1.5 million. You see it in the number of people that have been forced to flee the country, which was at one time more than 5 million, either as internally displaced persons or as refugees in neighboring countries. This destruction of a modern state is special, A, because it's not being told by the media, and B, it's done by a country that so-called defends human rights, the United States of America. Now, an important thing is that if you want to build a country, you need a well-educated middle class. If you drive those people out of the country, you kill them, or you drive them into exile, or you threaten them, then you will have a backward country. You drive it back to feudal times. You have your religious atavism instead of science, and many more things. The academic community in Iraq said it was threatened already from the beginning. There were already emails sent in 2003, SOS emails, that they were threatened by occupation forces and the militias that came on the back of their tanks. And it began gradually to become worse. People were getting killed in large numbers. Initially it were mostly scientists, but after a while we began to notice that it was not so much the scientists that they were after, but people from humanities. Because those people, like political scientists or psychologists or pedagogists or you name it, those people are essential to preserve, because they had a well-established society, preserve a society that was semi-state-oriented and not neoliberal. And this was, of course, against the wishes and the plans of the American invaders, who immediately created a free market paradise in Iraq. So don't tell me, please don't tell me that they had no plans for a post-war Iraq, because immediately Mr. Bremer issued 100 orders that were very well prepared in advance to break up the country totally. Now, when the one proof, I mean, that the killing and the assassinating and the driving into exile and the threatening of academics was done deliberately is that to this date there has been no systematic investigation of this phenomenon of terrorization of the professional middle class by the occupation authorities. Not a single arrest has been reported. And this is consistent with the occupation power's more general role in the decapitation of Iraqi society. Bremer's departification policy has not only removed professional leadership cadres in the political, economic and military spheres, but also the educational and cultural spheres with alarming consequences. According to documents of the Iraqi anti-occupation forces and the resistance, 169,000 members of the formerly ruling Ba'ath Party have been killed, and thousands more have left the country. The end result of this purge of Ba'athists has been the almost complete and quite deliberate deconstruction of Iraq's human capital. Complaining is one thing, and we can all say how bad things are in Iraq, and it's true, since I started campaigning for Iraq, the situation has only worsened over the years, but still, millions of people are in the street now, and and plus the Iraqi resistance has successfully driven out most of the Iraqi armed forces without any help from an outside country. America. Without outside help from any country, unlike Vietnam and other similar conflicts. So we should be hopeful, and the thing we should do, because we started this campaign on the assassination of Iraqi academics, is to see what is our duty, where does our hope lie, and what can we do to assist Iraqi academics and Iraqi education to regain their high standards they had prior to 2003. We noticed that all these international conferences on higher education that were being held in Erbil and in Amman, there was also one, that they left out certain things. For them, education is something that's in the air. They didn't take into account the overall political context of a country under occupation. They didn't mention the security situation. They certainly didn't mention the fraud and the criminality in the higher education. And that's what we did. We tried to, in the conference that we held in Ghent in March 2011, spend one day of this conference to find practical solutions together with the Iraqi academics who were instrumental in building the higher education for 50 years. So we produced a book with the recommendations and a few articles, and we did that in English and Arabic in the same book. So the most important is not here to talk about what's going on in Iraq now. Everybody knows, everybody of you knows. But the important thing is, what can you do? And I think this initiative that we did is a very important one as a sort of example what we can do, because that was the end of I think the last sentence of the video that we made on this seminar, and I think it's Hans von Sponeck's wife who said, hope is action. And I strongly believe in that. If we want to save something, if we want to bring back higher education to the previous standards, we need to organize the Iraqi academics in exile. We need to have direct contacts with Iraqi academics, institutes, inside and so on, because as NGOs we cannot work inside the country with the government that is now in place. So we have to bypass sort of that government and try to work directly with the students and academics in the universities themselves, because there are still good people working there. We believe strongly that they are still trying to maintain, the people who stayed there and who are honest, that they are still trying to maintain the standards, and that they are still trying to educate their students, even if the situation looks very dire. But I will leave it here, and I will pass on Jihad.
Yeah, thank you.